So, last session, you guys trudged through the desert and caught wind of some fighting. Turned out to be a pair of tieflings and a fire genasi not having a good day with a pair of giant sand spiders.
Okay, but we all know now that they're not tieflings or genasi.
Well, no, it was still a genasi.
It still was a genasi, yeah.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. That was legit. The flying tieflings may have not been what they seemed. So you guys help them out. They thanked you by giving you a amulet of fire resistance. And then when they cut a portal. They used your sword to cut a portal and disappeared into the depths of the abyss. Hell, who knows? You guys continued your journey until you reached the mountainous border of Rabur and Dorenethel. And soon you came upon close to the area of the commune in Milad, which at that point, a patrol had intercepted you guys and had asked you what you were doing in the area. And Switch told them. So you guys headed to the commune. They had asked you to close your eyes / blindfold yourselves so you could not see the type of magic or whatever things they deployed in order to get into the commune itself. Once you got into the commune, and you had to wait a while because Eagle Eye was currently talking to a druid from a organization called Nature's Privilege. Bittersweet made friends with a giant sloth during that time. And soon you met with Eagle Eye, Huntsmaster Eagle Eye. Immediately, Melanie's partner was like, said some stuff, and it was pretty apparent that Eagle Eye had something similar to Melanie. Anyways, Eagle Eye was able to tell you a little bit about the region you would be heading to, and she also told you that she would be able to provide you a guide in exchange for your help with closing the last demon gate in the upper region of the Underdark, which was causing the demon rage. They had closed several before this one, and this one was the largest and most well guarded. She introduced you to your would-be guide, Minsk, and his miniature space hamster, Boo. Charismatic fellow. And, yeah, she was also able to tell you that the Raven's choice was the Raven Queen's relic. She didn't know too much about it. She had heard it controls shadow, but other than that, she didn't know what it is, what it does, anything of the like. So, you guys are currently in the commune. Eagle Eye has told you there are some druids that will be coming shortly. You will transport via magical plants near the area where the Underdark entrance is. The problem with Daedar is which is the country directly north of Dorenethel. It contains a fair amount of entrances to the Underdark, but because of the corruption from there, and it's been used many times as a entrance and leaving point for many of the raids, many individuals who raid the surface, the region of Daedar is just a mass of corruption. Barely anything grows there. You're not going to find a living tree in the region itself. So what usually happens is if you need to get there quickly, unless you have teleported to the region beforehand. The other fastest way is being transported via via plants, getting close to the border, and then crossing into the border. And Huntsmaster Eagle Eye has said that she currently there are some druids, rangers, and a couple of the Nananlyre and Durenethel elven army there as kind of an outpost and a preparation station before people go into the Underdark itself. Did you guys want to do anything before... You have a couple hours before before the druids arrive.
I guess I could do some speed reading, if I'm allowed to go into the library.
Yeah, yeah, Eagle Eye says if you want to use the library, go ahead. I'm not sure what kind of information you'll find, but you can take a crack at it.
Anybody else interested in reading, or just me?
I'll go with.
Anyone else?
I'm gonna take. I actually am going to ask if there is any sort of temple or shrine to Cord.
Actually, Eagle Eye explains a lot of the rangers in the area worship Melora.
Okay.
And because Cord's association with Melora, there is a small shrine dedicated to him on the grounds. Once in a while, they will get a ranger that does worship him. So there is one on the grounds, and she will tell you it's a simple like stone structure. It's not glamorous or anything, but it is dedicated to him. So she'll point out the direction which it is in. It's not too far away from the main area. Probably like a couple minutes.
Okay. Well, I will go that way and just kind of spend some time over that way.
Okay, sounds good. So Tilda and Zaitari are going to be in the library. Melanie is going to hang out at the Cord shrine.
I have to reconnect. I'll be right back.
Okay. Raine, is there anything particular you want to do?
I don't really think so. I mean, she might just wander around the area. Maybe she'll stumble on something. I don't know.
Okay.
Library's not really her thing.
Okay. This is
Major conspiracy. Raine, like.
Give me a perception. Give me a perception check, Raine.
Okay. That was the 24, but I rolled it to myself.
Okay, that's fine. I believe you. This region it's a forest, so you could probably find a couple good herbs or plants that might be useful.
Yeah, I'll go see if there's anything that meets my shopping list of interesting items.
Okay, we can do that. So it's gonna take a couple hours. So you have probably about 2 hours of like looking around, saying, "Is that something? Can I use that?" We'll see. Okay. Zaitari and Tilda, what are you looking for?
Fray, Shadowfell.
Fray, Shadowfell.
Underdark.
Underdark. Okay.
Any of those.
Any of those things.
I'd like to look for any information on the Raven Queen's choice.
Okay. All right. So for you, Ro.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me get investigation checks from both of you.
Oh, this is gonna go great. I'm gonna cast enhance ability on myself.
Okay.
I'm not good at this, so I'll give myself advantage on intelligence.
Fuck it, I'm also gonna cast guidance on myself because
yeah, cantrip.
I never do it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so investigation check.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Um,
Okay. Awesome.
investigation, and then hang on.
Okay, 18.
18.
Both 18s.
18s.
You're
Look at
okay.
that.
High five.
All right.
Twinsies.
Anything? So first we'll go Saitar. Anything on the Underdark, Fey shit,
And Shadowfell.
or Shadowfell?
Yes. I will let you know. I will focus on the Underdark because that is where we are going.
Where you are going? Okay. There are quite a few books written about the Underdark. It sounds like most of them are recollections of rangers that have been at the commune. You find a few things about what sound like what druids have written. A lot about the flora, a lot about the fauna of the Underdark. They talk about a lot of the kind of fungi you'll find, like torch stalks are good for, like a lot of survival guides. For example, like if you are looking for food or water or a light source, this is what you can use in a pinch and what kind of fungi to avoid. And there's a long list of what to avoid and what to be careful of.
Okay. I'm gonna probably over the next couple hours meticulously copy this list.
Okay. Yeah, that's mostly it. It does go into what creatures you might encounter in each of the regions, like a couple of them. The list for these aren't as in-depth than compared to the flora you will find and its usefulness. But just for a quick overview, the guides mention that in the Upper Dark, you should be careful of eye tyrants, or what are known as beholders. You should also be careful of, drow, duergar. Deep gnomes might be a good. Do not get on a deep gnome's bad side. They are one of the very few allies you might encounter in the Underdark itself. Be wary and always look up at the ceiling if you can. One of the most dangerous things that an unseasoned adventurer has encountered in the Underdark are called cloaker cities, which are just massive amounts of cloakers that have gathered and created a settlement, so to speak. And sometimes an unwary traveler will go into these caverns and look up and think they're bats, but they're actually massive amounts of cloakers. And that happens when cloaker lords, for example, if there's more than one cloaker lord, more cloakers will join up and create these cities. And it's also it's also very difficult to get out of these caverns once you get into them. The reason is cloakers have the ability of squeezing through very slit-like small places up to a couple inches, and usually these are very high up. And sometimes you can't find a way you came back in. You look for an alternative route, and you're like, "Where the hell am I?" Oh look, there's those are not bats. So that's one of the really interesting things you read about through these guides. Yeah, so beware of beholders, cloakers, try and make friends with deep gnomes, avoid the drow and the duergar.
Okay.
Tilda, you are looking for anything on the Raven Queen's choice. Or the Raven Queen herself.
Sure, I guess.
Well, knowing a little bit of religion, the information provided in the major god list about the Raven Queen herself. A couple other things that the that you find are about the Shadow Tower, because that is actually located in the Underdark. It tells you about how devoted they are to the Shadow Queen. Every time they engage in battle, it is either for themselves or dedicated combat to the Raven Queen. You don't really find anything about the Raven Queen's choice, however. This might be because of the nature of the relics, because they can morph into whatever the person needs, similar to the transformation that occurred when Melanie's hammer became a sword over the period of 6 months, which is weird. Even though the Shadowkai of the Shadow Tower do worship the Raven Queen, her presence isn't really strong in the Underdark. The strongest divine presence you'll find, beep, will be from Loth, of course, the Queen of Spiders, and Savior of the Drow, some would say. And Turog, though in your studies you find that Turog doesn't seem to be as a major player anymore, for some reason or another. It seems in some of the books you're reading that you get the sense that the person writing these guys knows why Turog isn't a major player in the Underdark anymore, but they don't explain why. So yeah, that's what you guys find. Melanie, are you doing anything special at the Shrine of Cord? It's literally, so when you get there, it is in a nice clearing. There's sun shining through the trees. Well, the area where it's been cleared. It's literally the Shrine of Cord is 2 rocks with a stone slab plopped on these 2 rocks. His symbol carved into another rock that has been placed on this rock makeshift table. And a small area where you can sit and meditate if you wish. It looks like the area in front of the makeshift table has been cleared out enough for somebody to, if somebody wanted to practice some stances. There is a haphazardly tilted over what looked like a large tree trunk that somebody had been using. It looks like it's been cut up a bit for a practice dummy.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like some people come here to either meditate or practice to show him some moves.
Show me the moves.
Well, Mel walks up to the basically just stacked rocks of an altar, and she nods her head and says, "Honestly, that is my type of altar." And she takes out the sword, and she just kind of like holds it there and just says, "Okay, just trying this out. I am going to go into the Underdark and kill a bunch of things that I'm pretty sure you would hate. And so, yeah, that's happening. If I do anything that you're like, oof, don't do that shit, let me know." That is all. And then I just sheath the sword. Actually, before I sheath the sword, I give the practice trunk a few whacks.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just head on my way.
Okay, sounds good. Roll a perception check for me, Melanie.
Oh boy.
I can't.
Oh, I will do it for you. I forgot about that. I apologize.
It's like, I am going to roll a perception check for you.
I mean, I can get my dice out and just tell you what I roll if you want me to, but
If you want, that's fine. I have your sheet opened.
Oh yeah, because I don't know what any of my bonuses are. If you don't mind rolling it for
Yeah,
me.
I don't mind. You rolled a 13.
Woo!
No, you don't notice anything.
That's okay.
Okay, cool. Raine, you have about 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours-ish before you guys have to head out. So, I need you to give me a second. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
So is there anybody I could look like a hunter or someone to speak with? Hey, where's a good place to go look for shit? You know?
Oh, you literally will, like, walk by 5 people who look like, hey, where's a good place to look for shit? There are a lot of people here that could help you out. They will point you over to a more mossy area of the compound. It looks pretty damp from a recent rain. They mentioned you might find a lot of good fungi there that's good for medicinal properties. So yeah, you can probably head over there. Alright, give me a... Let's go with a perception check to see if you could see anything interesting. Alright. And
See all.
you see everything. Alright, so you got about 2 hours. You find some, well, easily you find some cobwebs. Probably can be used as dressing for a wound. These seem a little sturdier than most. And you also find the healing...
Hey, Tilda, let me patch that wound up for you. I got Tilda's like, get the fuck away from me.
I was thinking the same thing. Like, Tilda's like,
No, darling.
beg your pardon? No.
I'm actually going to send you a message, right, Raine. Give me a second.
Alright.
If you dress a wound with that. But you need some time to dress the wound, so you can't really do it in combat.
Sounds good.
You find what are known as what are known as old man whiskers. So they literally look like white whiskers, but they're thin, kind of like tough alloy plants. And these can be taken in combat. You'll have to do maybe a little you'll have to extract the juices from them using maybe like a mortar and pestle, or what you could also do is if you have somebody really strong, put them in a cloth and like literally squeeze it. You can get some juice out of them, and you can use that in combat. So essentially it could be like, you know, a potion or something.
Alright, I have that written down.
Okay, and this is, so the first one were cobwebs, and the second one was called
Old man whiskers.
Old Man Whiskers. Yep. Okay, great. Alright, and I assume Bittersweet's probably talking to a sloth, or a moose, or...
If there's any animals, just assume that Bittersweet's probably studying them, and then probably trying to make friends with them.
Yeah. There are so many animals in this area. It's as if the
I can only imagine.
It's as if the wildlife doesn't give a fuck about anybody here. And you're just like hanging out. All the creatures do look very well fed, so no predatory activity happening currently.
A snake slithers out of a bookcase and Tilda screams.
There are
It just like calmly slithers away.
There are probably one or
Tips
two.
its hat towards you.
There are probably among the lichen and some of the moss that, like, the library itself, the shelf area is, pretty well kept, but, like, the surrounding areas, like, just outside, there's moss and lichen growing all over the structure. You do catch a salamander or two, like, resting among the mushrooms as you walk in. It's a little musty in here. But yeah, you'll probably see that, definitely.
There's a singing frog in a top hat. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal.
Immediately gets eaten by a garter snake.
Oh, damn.
So talented.
So young. Tilda will briefly wish that she had prepared sending for the day.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
she did not.
Okay. There will be a knock on the door in the library. It is it's Switch, and she tells you that the druids have arrived. Hey! Heather!
So has the Heather.
So,
The druid arrived.
yep,
Yeah.
there's literally druid. What's up?
Huh? Oh, no, it's just fucking, end of the day.
What?
End of the day, what?
You cut out.
Madness.
Yeah.
That would do it.
Are
Are you okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. We were just
No,
talking.
it's-
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
We were just talking about, like, you guys have 2 to 3 hours downtime. So currently, literally, we were about to. So literally, Tilda and Zaitari are in the library studying about things, or looking up things. Melanie's at the very small shrine of Cord, talking to her sword. Raine's gathering some herbs. What would
There's
be?
a shrine of cord?
There's a very small shrine of
here?
Cord. Yes, here. Because of Cord's association with Melora and some.
And storms. Okay.
And storms. There is one. It's rather small. It's literally a makeshift stone table with his symbol carved into another stone on top of it. It's nothing glamorous.
Okay.
And there's a tree trunk that's a wood test. That's a fighting dummy.
Okay.
But
I'm glad that you just stopped at test and didn't say testicle, because that's where my brain went.
okay.
Spent too much time at the vet.
That's fine. So what I assumed Bittersweet would be talking to all the animals, but I shouldn't assume that Bittersweet would be talking to all the animals.
Well, it depends. Sorry, mic sounds.
That's
while I
okay.
balance my mic. It depends on if there are any shrines to the primordials around here.
To the primordials, I see. There are not.
Okay. Then, Bittersweet would spend some time talking to, any animals in the area, and especially examining any, like, new and interesting ones. But also, if there's just, like, if there's, like, a bonfire, or even just, like, a campfire or anything around, they would probably just spend some time sitting near it and just looking into the fire.
Oh yeah, there are definitely some bonfires. Most of the bonfires that are lit are occupied by those who are not running with animals, are occupied with the younger members of the commune. They look like they're just teenagers. And they're just chatting up, making food, taking breaks in between their chores. But there are a varied number of creatures around, like moose. There are definitely large eagles. You do spot a few strange wildcats you've never seen before. One is a spotted cat, which is much thinner than Joom is, the jaguar, with spots, with black spots and a yellow coat.
Oh, it's a fucking cheetah.
And when you hear it cry, it doesn't really meow. It's kind of like has a short, like high-pitched bark, sort of. Yep,
Is it a cheetah?
It's definitely a cheetah.
Okay, Bittersweet doesn't know what a cheetah is, but they are interested in it all the same.
Mm-hmm.
And after they've like cataloged all the different animals, they go up to one of the bonfires, and say, "Hello, fellow children."
Do
Do you have a skateboard
have
over here?
Yeah, you have a baseball cap.
No, they would just go over and ask, "Is it okay? Is it okay if I join you on the fire?"
A young human boy will, it's like, yeah, fire's for everybody.
Thank you. And then they just sit quietly by the fire.
Okay. Let's see.
And then the children leave.
No, they don't leave. They just sit around chatting. So you two are in the library. I want to try something.
Oh boy.
Bittersweet, actually.
I don't know. No.
Okay.
What about me?
So
Got here just in time.
Melanie, while you're hanging out at the Cord Shrine, Gwarthen, the gentleman that you had met with the hyena, lets you know that the druids have arrived. Raine, one of the stable hands, finds you to tell you that druids have arrived. Bittersweet. Margot trots up to the bonfire. This is Eagle Eye's animal companion. And as you're sitting there, kind of taps you on your side with her paw and looks up at you expectantly.
So I can legit just talk to animals, I believe.
Yes, you can understand them.
Yeah, they can understand the meaning of your words, though you have no special ability to understand them in return. And I have advantage on charisma checks.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, Bittersweet would just like kind of look down and say, "Do you need me?"
In perfect common, Margot answers you.
Animal messenger.
It's time to go. The druids have arrived.
But I am already here.
You see Margot like close her eyes, and if she had a hand to pinch the bridge of her muzzle, she would.
Oh, stop! It wasn't that bad. And they get up and they stretch, like their spine pops a little bit from having sat for so long, and say, "Take me to where they're meeting, then."
You hear Margot mutter, "You're almost as bad as she is," and starts walking towards to a very large clearing, where sits in the center of the clearing is one of the massive redwoods, but this one's one of the larger ones in the area. There are about 40 members of the commune with their animal companions, some without animal companions, and there are 3 what you assume druids dressed in. One is dressed in just a simple leather armor, holding a staff that literally looks like they cut a large branch from one of the pine trees and is using it as their weapon. The other one isn't dressed in armor at all, just in a very plain common clothes, beige. The one in the middle has a scimitar, a wooden shield, and looks like she is wearing armor, like a black plate armor, but as you walk closer to her, you realize that that plate armor is actually made of some kind of wood. And when she walks, it's not the metal clanking you expect from if she was wearing metal. It's kind of like a metallic, as if two pieces of wood clanged together, but it was a wooden sound instead, like a wood metallic mixture sound.
Like fossilized wood, almost.
Almost.
Like harder.
Almost.
Do I recognize what that wood is?
Roll a nature check for me.
Someday I will gain more points in this.
You have no idea.
Yeah, I figured.
It's not common, that's for sure.
It's pretty cool.
Might I have potentially encountered it?
Possibly.
Being a bard. Can I roll a nature check?
Yes.
Okay. No.
No.
Absolutely not.
Ebony? I don't know what that is.
Wood?
It's wood. That's what you know.
Looks like wood to me.
She's literally wearing wooden
Well,
armor.
golly gee.
I would know. I'm a bard.
Melanie is going to see this person's armor, walk up and be like, "That's very interesting armor. What's it made out of?"
I was about to do the same thing. So.
Melanie, the problem solver.
The person who is wearing the wooden armor is an elf woman. A wood elf specifically. And she looks at you and says, this is known as ironwood.
May I, and I move my hand, like, can I knock on you?
She allows it. She just puts her arm out and
I don't know the motion.
She's like, these people.
Looks a little bit amused, but at the same time understands why you'd be so curious. Yeah, she holds out her arm and, motions, uses her, lets you touch, knock, if you wish.
Well, that is very interesting.
Yes, it can be found in portions, very rarely in portions of the Elven lands, but more commonly you can find it in the Feywild.
Is it about as heavy as regular metal, or is it lighter?
It's actually lighter. Provides the same protection as with normal metallic armor, but much lighter, and usually such heavy armor, such as the one you are wearing, would hinder my spellcasting abilities, but ironwood doesn't seem to do that for me.
Oh, well, that is excellent. Very interesting.
Thank you. Eagle Eye lets everybody who's not coming, there's already a crowd gathering around you of the stable hands, the younger individuals of the commune. She lets them know that a large portion of them will be heading to Daedar, and she puts Gwarthrin in charge for now, and she will hopefully be back soon, and wishes everybody a good hunt. And the druids will start casting transport through trees. And they let you know as soon as the portal is opened, it is only going to stay opened for a very short amount of time, and just go in. And everybody's already filing up in front of equal numbers of people are already filing in front of large trees where the portals will be cast.
If anyone glances at Tilda, they will notice that she is a little paler than usual, which is saying something. And, yeah.
Okay.
Are you okay over there?
Oh, I'm fine. I just wish I could talk to Theo. one last time.
It's not going to be the last time. It's going to take us a day to get to the Underdark anyways.
And I will make sure that you come back. Don't worry.
Alright.
Okay.
Tally ho.
All right. The portals, the bark looks as if it peels away from the center, and there is a portal on the other side showing briefly a rather bleak landscape. It looks as if there was a fire that tore through this portion of once was a wooded area. Immediately the rangers start rushing through, and eventually you will all rush through as well, unless somebody decides to not rush through.
We have been given instructions
To
to
rush.
make sure that we go through.
All right. When you
And Bittersweet kind of shifts back to sort of be behind Tilda, too.
Just in case she's not fast enough? What?
No, like,
No,
like protective.
Okay. You guys rush through, and when you land on the other side, what you see is it looks very similar to when you first stepped past the mountainous. Oh.
That's Martin.
Oh, Martin.
When he was a baby.
Please
I
give
asked-
us a kiss.
Yeah, I asked my mother if she still had kitten pictures of him, because I'm having trouble finding mine. And that's from the first day that I met him.
Aw.
Oh.
Oh.
I think he was about 8 weeks, probably younger.
Oh. He's a cute boy. He's still a cute boy, but he's...
No, he was a cute boy.
I wasn't gonna say that.
It's okay. Now he's a cat.
He was a cute boy. Now he's a cute man.
Oh.
Ah.
The cute
Anyway.
man is knocking shit off my shelves.
Didn't say he was a smart
Take that as you will.
man.
The cute ones are always destructive, you know?
You come upon what looks very similar to when you first crossed the mountains into Dorenethil. There are very sparse trees, and beyond the sparse tree line, it looked like I had described previously, it looks like as if a fire just ravaged through the region. Except there isn't any... what looks like scorched blackened earth doesn't seem to resemble that of ash. I need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy.
That's pretty bad.
Nope.
I'll use luck.
I lose my memory.
Oh, fuck. That was a wisdom check.
Just add your proficiency, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that was so much better. I'm so glad I spent that luck.
So it would be 21 for me.
Okay.
You're gonna have to roll for Melanie.
All right, Melanie. Sorry, I keep forgetting.
No, it's okay. That's why I'm reminded.
All right, wisdom.
If
Okay,
you wanna,
not bad.
if you want to open the sheet, I wouldn't mind doing it. I'm used to piloting 2 characters at once.
That's okay. I'm good. I just closed it because I forgot.
I've got a pupper on my leg right now.
It's okay. I understand. Pupper's more important. I love the pupper.
She still just gets really upset when she can't go upstairs and be with us. So.
Yeah, they will be like that for a while.
But she cannot go upstairs yet. It is too tempting to mess with a kitty cat.
Mm. At least Luke's getting used to her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're working on it.
I'm just thinking about all those cat videos where like the dog is like nosing up to the cat and the cat just smacks him in the face for no reason. That's what...
I don't like you is a very valid reason.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's fairly valid.
Okay. There's anybody who rolled less than a 10. So Melanie, Tilda, and Bittersweet are fine. There feels like this force. It's very similar to a wave of depression that just comes over you for a brief moment.
Okay, so it doesn't last very long.
No, it's just a sense of... kind of like a sense of hopelessness. Mm-hmm. That immediately hits you for a few seconds until you start adjusting to like the landscape, and you notice that some of the other rangers probably have been hit with this feeling as well. It's not really any detrimental or anything, but you just know it's there. Hugo, I will say that the Outpost isn't too far from this region. You guys will have to... So, currently where you guys are, you are right around about maybe 5 miles from the border of Daedar. So, you'll have to walk for some miles, and then you will hit Darkwood Outpost. Is the preparation outpost for the commune and for Nature's Privilege. So it's going to be like a 5-mile hike. Okay. Luckily, this area isn't mountainous at all. It's a little hilly, but it's totally easily hiked through, especially that you're surrounded by a large group of rangers and a few druids that could help. So it won't take you that much time to hike through this region. As you're walking through this region, you notice that are less and less trees. The sky was fairly sunny and dappled when you were first in Malat. But now you're coming across as if the region itself is getting darker and more overcast. And even though it's spring, so it's not the warmest season of the year, but it was still nice. It was still about maybe 55 degrees from where you were before. It's getting significantly colder. Like a chill you can't really shake off, no matter if you put on more clothes. It's more of connected with, you feel with the natural surroundings itself. It's as if the natural surroundings itself is starting to give up the further north you go.
Interesting.
And then you come to an area after the 5 miles where there is a series of a mixture of mud, stone, and wood, and dried grass, and a few tents as well. Structures with a tall stone, not very tall. Probably the stone wall is about 6 or 7 feet. And it's thin, surrounding these couple of buildings and tents. And there are 2 entrances. One that looks like to the north, one looks like to the south. You guys entered through the southern region. And when you arrive, you see there are more druids here. You see there are elven individuals, both high elves and wooden elves, in metallic and leather armor alike. They tend to stay away. They have their own region of this outpost where they're stationed at, and they don't really seem to pay you any mind at first. Could all of you roll perception checks?
Sure.
Nope.
Oh yeah,
Friendly
right.
reminder, you will have to roll for
Sorry.
Melanie.
Holy shit.
I see everything.
You see everything apparently. So does Melanie.
Yeah.
Melanie, you
natural 20.
you natural 20 this. Raine,
Boy.
bittersweet,
Fuck all y'all.
Melanie.
What's the minimum I can roll?
I mean, you are the one who passed the weird depression spell with flying color. So,
Tilda's just like, I don't know what all you are whining about. This place is awesome. Can't you see all of the dead trees? It's wonderful.
aw,
here."
baby.
She's a baby. You especially bittersweet and Melanie and Raine, as you all are walking through, you see some of the elven soldiers like some of them that are guarding or patrolling, immediately like glance at the group, kind of really in a judging way.
Oh, I'm sure. Us dirty non-elves.
You get the feeling that they do respect members of the commune and nature's privilege, but probably because of their racial makeup of the groups, it's not a high respect.
Yeah.
At
Like, who
all.
are these plebes?
Yeah. Like, what are these plebes doing here in this outpost?
They are not worthy of our...
Serious, do these half elves seem to get it any worse?
Bittersweet smiles at them. Blithely. Completely ignoring whatever look they're giving them.
Okay.
Just smiles with big sharp teeth.
Okay. Eagle Eye, you see Eagle Eye, like, look at the corner of her eye, just rolls her eyes. Just, fuck these guys. Alright.
Do the half-elves get it any worse?
They get it as bad as you guys, quite
Okay.
frankly.
I didn't know if they would be, like, worse because, dirty
Racist.
half-bloods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Equal hate for everybody, pretty much.
Equality, yeah, that's all you can ask for.
Equally racist. It's great.
Eagle Eye will lead you into their side of the outpost, and you enter the largest tented structure, where there are a couple of about 5 druids looking over a table with a large map, and there are little push pins in the map that are color-coded, and looks like it's kind of as a plan of attack, almost. And it looks like the map is centered on a particular region of what you can assume is the Underdark. of the 5 druids who are currently poring over this map and discussing a plan of attack, you see one that is a little more ornately dressed than the other 4. She, surprisingly, is a very elderly half-orc woman. Her hair is put in a very simple bun. It looks like she has a very simple vine-like circlet that's on her head. And from this vine-like circlet, you see there are little newly sprouted leaves that are starting to grow. It looks like, too, that this circlet has been on her head for a while because there's some of her hair tangled in it. You also notice that she wears some pieces similar to the ironwood that the ironwood-clad druid that you had met earlier. It's not full armor, but it's like little pieces, like what would be known as a breastplate. She has a very beautifully patterned, a flower patterned skirt, and there is a very large branch in her hand that looks like it's starting to sprout wisteria, purple wisteria flowers. The branch itself looks like it had been cut long ago. When she notices the group, Eagle Eye has brought you 5, Minsk, a plain-looking human ranger with a black dog trotting by her side, and Switch has gone off and is doing something else at this point.
And this woman is, you said she's elven?
She's half-orc.
Half-orc. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
That's like the exact opposite. I love it.
Um,
Oh.
As you enter the tent, the half-orc stops looking at the map and with a very wide smile says, Maru, it's good that you have joined us. She looks questioningly at the rest of you. I don't think we've met.
Who the fuck are these guys?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like literally, who the fuck are these guys? Maru says, these individuals are willing to help our cause in exchange for some favors. This is Agatha Fireflower. She is the Archdruid of Nature's Privilege. She and her organization are going to help us with the attack on the Demon Gate. I thought to bring you to the War Room, just to give you a brief explanation of what we have so far, the location of the Demon Gate, and maybe you could share with us, since you are seasoned warriors yourself, and you might have a different perspective from us. Opinions on, or what you think you could offer in this plan of attack. Agatha will nod in agreement and will say, so, what are your names, so I don't point to you and call you you? That would be very rude of me.
I will give a short curtsy and say, Zaitari is Esteban.
Melanie too open.
Raine Livy.
You can call me Bittersweet.
Sorry, I was muted.
No.
I was like, where the heck is Matilda Persephone? Anyway, everything.
Me Loylar.
Ni
No.
Loyalar.
Loyalar
Ni
Ni
Galantra. That's right.
Guys,
Close,
come on.
close, 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 close.
You were
Every
close.
day we get closer.
Tilda will just say, Tilda.
Everyone stares.
Everybody else seems to be very
Doppelganger foot!
confused.
Bittersweet is still smiling,
Who
not
are you?
understanding.
Pleasure to meet all of you. So,
I was about to say, if the people are going to make a big fucking deal about it, she'll roll her eyes. Matilda Persephone Adelaide Bernadine Loyola Ni Galantra, Duchess of Loyola,
There
Lady
we
of
go.
Leona.
She hasn't lost her mind completely.
it's a pleasure to meet all of you, Agatha says. So this region of the Underdark we are heading to is called the Deep Wastes. I know, charming name, isn't it? The Deep Wastes.
Lovely.
The Deep Wastes are located in the upper Underdark region, just north of the Glimmer Sea. We are going to be heading towards a town known as Astrith Morcane, and I'll type that out.
The Glimmer Sea sounds nice.
Astrith The Astrith Morcane is, or was, a drow outpost. The reason I say was is it's no longer controlled by the drow because of the Demon Gate and making everybody in that region go absolutely insane.
Yes, we've heard.
The type of resistances we can expect in this area near the outpost would consist of drow, stone giants, goblins, bugbears, undead, and possibly driders.
Okay.
If you know, and she looks looks at you if you need any further explanation on any of the creatures she has listed off.
Oh, by the way, through all my research, which was, I mean, not an exhaustive amount, but there was some, I would have been filling everybody in what I read and copied down through the survival guides for the Underdark during our hike to get here.
Okay.
So, we're driders in what I read.
Driders is one of the things you read. You know that they are drow individuals who have failed in their duty to Loth and have been exiled and turned into half spider, half drow monstrosities.
Yes. They're basically drow centaurs, but spiders, not horses.
Exactly.
The shittiest version of a centaur possible.
It's
Yeah.
all the worst things about a drow and all the worst things about a spider now in one neat package.
All evil. Great. So yeah, I imagine I would have told everybody
Mhm.
about, the driders and all that shit that I would have read about, so.
As of maybe 3 weeks ago, we estimate the forces of the outpost to be roughly 200 members of the outpost and maybe 40-ish slaves at that same outpost. So about maybe 240-ish.
Now, is the outpost they're referring to is the enemy outpost, right? They're not talking about like any ally forces right now.
Yes, they're talking about the enemy outpost.
Okay.
All right. This outpost usually would be associated with more of a major city, but because of the Demon Gate, the outpost has been essentially cut off from whatever drow city they would be associated with. The defenses of the outpost are as follows. There used to be, there is a decent-sized garrison, and rumor has it that there is a sizable wizard school there. How it is functioning, or whether the school is still functioning, or whether the denizens can still are still adequate at magic, we do not know. We haven't encountered any casters. We've encountered patrols outside of the outpost, and unfortunately we couldn't extract very much information from them because they were literally insane. And we could not trust whether or not their words were true or made up from the hallucinations they've been saying. Heather just dropped out.
Yep.
The Zith Morcane's construction is unique. Its most significant defense is the location on the side of a chasm. The only navigable way around the outpost is along a network of webbing, because of the Driders.
That sounds truly horrible.
Yes. It's pretty bad.
Is there specifically a plan at all?
Yes, how are we getting to this demon gate? How are we closing it?
Agatha says, it will be mine and my fellow druids. We will be closing the demon gate. We will attempt to deploy the same strategy we'd have on the others. Oh, there you are. Hi.
You still there, Heather?
Yeah, I'm back. Discord just
Okay.
freaked
Riders
the
everywhere.
fuck out.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't let me open the program, just kept making, like, the disconnected sound over and over again.
Ooh.
It was
Well,
upset.
Welcome back.
I had to go into Task Manager and kill, like, the root process that was running. And the Discord icon was, like, white with a red dot over it, so it was very angry. What?
Oh boy.
God. Yeah, I have no idea what happened, but please continue. Driders, Outpost, Slave Outpost.
Dryder's Slave Outpost has a wizard school, has a decent-sized garrison in the side of a chasm, surrounded by webbing, which you can assume is Driders.
Dryad spiders.
Dryad spiders. Agatha explains that the way they've been able to close the other demon gates, and she pulls out these very large palm-sized oval seeds, which pulse with a bluish energy. We have been able to use these seeds planted around the demon gate, powered by our magic, to literally grow around the demon gate and tear it apart. These seeds are infused with an essence which are able to deconstruct the magical fibers that hold the demon gates open. These have worked very successfully on the others we've had deployed these to, and we do not expect them to... we expect these to work as with the others. However, we'd like to have a plan B just in case things don't work. We'd also like a plan C, D, E, F, but we don't have time for that. The reason why we can't allow the demon gate to stay open is because not only will its corruptive influencing magic spread, this particular demon gate is literally distorting the fabric of magic around it that some of the rangers of the commune have sensed that it's starting to tear impromptu portals through the material plane.
That's never good.
No, it's not good. So the faster we can... And we don't know what effect this might have on the battle, on our magic. We don't know where the tears in the material plane are leading to as well. It could be a number of places, to the elemental planes, to the Feywild, to Shadowfell. We don't know, and I would not like to find out.
So, assuming we go in here and try to do Plan A, what is our task?
We have found that though the demon rage causes individuals to go insane, it does not lower their strength. It doesn't make them stronger either. Your task, and we've deployed this task on the first demon gate, we didn't have to deploy it on the second, was we send pockets of guerrilla forces to cause distractions in multiple locations at once. Therefore, thinning out the defenses around the main demon gate itself, allowing a team to sneak into the demon gate, insert the seeds into the earth, and accelerate their growth using our magic. I would assume you would be one of these forces that would cause a distraction. Depending on your talents, we can deploy you to particular regions of particular enemies. We do have some that are gunning for the slaves, mostly made out of bugbears and goblins, and bugbears and goblins. Some will deploy near the stone giants. There is a particular region where there will be undead. All of these regions, however, are populated with drow. So, you being strong individuals, we might have you lined up against maybe particularly, do you have any experience with giants in any form?
Does undead count?
Undead does count.
Yes, we've had a few experiences with giants.
Okay.
My clan and I used to have to compete for territory with stone and frost giants. Does that count?
That actually would work very well, because the primary giants you would be encountering at this outpost would be stone.
They are normally a peaceful people.
They are normally a peaceful people, but then you enslave them and then drive them insane.
Best to put them out of their misery, then.
I agree.
So we are also quite good at infiltrating. If you do need particular assistance with that, but if you need us just to kill some people, we can do that too.
That's where we're trying to figure out where your talents would be best applied.
Well, I'm good at magic, and I can hit things pretty hard too. I'm a bard.
I see.
Mechanically speaking.
The little dash of warlock.
Just a little bit of warlock. Just a dip. Just a tiny little dip the toe in. Just to see what the water feels like.
Can you feed him after you're done?
I'm also fairly skilled at magic.
Okay, so are all of you magically gifted, or are you more martial, or some of you more martially inclined?
I stab things.
Okay.
I was gonna say, Tilda looks over at Raine and Melanie.
Yeah.
Like,
Depends on who you ask, dear.
Bittersweet rocks their hand back and forth.
oh.
A little of column A, a little of column B.
Bittersweet's being modest. They are very magically adept, a druid, and also can take some good hits.
I'm
Okay.
just having a Kiri moment in my head. I kill people.
All right, excellent. It sounds like you might be actually a very good candidate to target or distract the stone giants, and maybe stand toe to toe with a couple driders as well. We do have Eagle Eyes or organization does have rangers that specialize in very large targets in particular, and they will be able to assist. My organization doesn't have too many people, however, that have dealt with drow. Most of us are concentrated on the efforts of the Demon Gate itself, and a couple of our more martially inclined warriors will be taking the lesser enemies, like the bugbears and goblins. I think we can send you to the region where we think the stone giants or some of the dryads resides, if you are okay with that.
That's fine with me.
Sure.
How many of you are capable of flight?
Tilda raises her hand.
Okay. That would be very
Bittersweet
good.
also raises their hand.
Okay.
I kind of like give like one of those like little, like I put my hand up and I just kind of like put it parallel to the ground and like kind of shake it a little bit, you know, like
Right.
sort of. I can cast polymorph.
I see. The reason I ask is because we don't want you being too hindered by the webbing in the area.
Well,
Really wish I had.
Is the problem that it's tricky
Prepared.
to climb, or that it's
It's very sticky.
sticky to climb?
It's very sticky to climb, and driders know when something's under web.
so, drow don't like the light, right?
No.
Most of these things are not going to appreciate light.
Especially the drow, yes.
Okay. Bittersweet. When are we going to do this? Tomorrow? Do we have time to prepare for this?
No, we will not be going. So what we had planned on doing is we're going to be taking the King's Highway through the Underdark to get there. The problem is a very large group going down at once will attract a huge amount of attention. We're going to try to deploy our forces sort of like in a gradient style deployment, a little at a time, and we have a meeting spot. The problem is, a long time ago, somebody tried to send an army down there, and they were eaten by multiple purple worms.
Oh, lovely.
Yes.
Well, the last time we encountered those, I turned one into a goat.
Can you turn 20 into a goat?
I can do one at a time for an hour.
Okay. We don't want that to happen to anybody. So that is why we are trying to reduce the amount of tremors that go through that King's Highway.
Makes sense.
If we're leaving tomorrow, I could prepare fly and cast it on those of us who don't have flight.
Well, we can take 2 on the broom if Bittersweet turns into a large
I can
flying
become a
type
large
thing.
eagle,
Yes.
if that would work.
Would that carry 1 or 2 people?
It would carry one. I
1.
think.
Okay. So that takes care of 4. And then I could polymorph somebody, or you could cast flight. So we do have options.
Okay.
If we were to polymorph somebody, then they could possibly carry somebody. So that might-
Yes. Yeah, for sure. And I'm not restricted to No, I am restricted to beasts. That's true polymorph. That's 9th level. Don't have.
Yes, giant eagle is a large beast, so I can carry one person. Unless DM rules that, like a horse, a giant eagle can carry 2.
I'll say it depends on the horse.
So it depends on the eagle.
I would
I
say.
can turn somebody into a T-Rex.
Have you seen
That's
it?
not going to reduce tremors.
Nope, not at all.
T-Rex.
Strider looks at the cup of water. On
Exactly, a glass of water.
I mean, I could also polymorph somebody into a giant spider.
I can become a giant spider. That's one of the things. That's one of the forms.
Yeah,
I know.
because giant spiders
But
are
why?
huge. They're large.
They're large, but they have web walk.
Yeah, so I mean, it might be useful. We'll see how it goes.
It will take about a day's marching to get to the rendezvous point, anyways. So you have a little bit of time to prepare and to think about what you want to do. We do have, and as an example, Agatha will take out a almost white. It looks, when she first takes it out, it looks like just a thick, round piece of wood, almost, like a wooden pole. But when she sets it on the table, you realize that this isn't a piece of wood. This looks like very similar to the stalk of a mushroom. We have, and this is for, if you need to identify what torch stalks to use. These are commonly found in the Underdark, soaked in pitch and used as torches, if you need those for light. So we have some available for you that we have gathered. Where was I going with this? I would do all your preparation on the surface, if possible. Once you get into the Underdark proper, it's different down there. It's
Preparation in what way?
I would say try to steel yourself for possibly a endless trip of darkness into the Underdark. The feeling and the misery and the hopelessness that comes with that is something you kind of have to steel yourself against.
Okay.
So, some mental preparation would be good if you know any forms of meditation or anything that would help you, steel yourself versus those feelings. I suggest doing those while you can. Otherwise, we have started marching a few forces down towards there already. You can go today, or maybe if you would like, you can go tomorrow morning, and you can start your trek then. There is one more thing I do suggest bringing. She will bring up a small cage. Inside the cage there is a small creature. It looks like a gray spotted salamander. And she says this is known as a puff salamander. Many of the deep gnomes use these, similar to canaries in mines. If the air is toxic, it will puff up immediately, and you have a few minutes to get out of that area. I suggest you carrying one of these as well.
Do you have any puffy salamander marshmallow bits that we can borrow, perhaps?
What?
Can we borrow a salamander?
Yes, that I am giving you the salamander. So for your journey, every troop gets one.
Okay. I didn't know if we had to go find this.
Does the salamander count as a beast?
Yes. It does.
Could I turn into one?
If you want to, you can study it. She's giving you this cage with the salamander.
Yeah. Bittersweet takes the cage.
All right. The salamander looks at you with googly eyes. Not like, kind of like, just sitting there.
It's adorable.
Wait until you see it puff up, says Alika. They look like similar to a, she describes a puffer fish. Without the spikes. And there's a little tail that, like, wiggles.
I love it already.
Does this one have a name?
No, this one does not have a name. You can give it one if you... It's yours.
Marshmallow. Its name is Marshmallow.
All
It's
right.
a marshmallow.
It's a puffy item that people eat. Oh.
I've
won't
never
eat
heard
the
of them
salamander.
before. Okay, good.
But they are puffy.
Here. You have, but in the meantime, the outpost, well, this region of the outpost is open to all of you. Please feel free to select an area to pitch a tent, or you may share one of the huts with one of our other druid brethren or ranger brethren. I would suggest staying out of the area where the elven armies are currently. They do not take lightly.
Yes, they were looking at us just with such kindness and generosity that I was shocked.
Your
I thought
friends
they
are
were-
kind of racist.
That's actually an understatement, Agatha says. But they will give you your privacy and give you distance. If they know what's good for them. They know that the commune and nature's privilege is here at the request of their king and queen. And it is by our generosity that we help them.
Mm.
I think that they forget that my people were communing with nature before they were ever even civilized folk.
There are many things, Agatha says, about the Elven that I do not care for, but I know a little bit of their history. I do understand why they are the way they are, but I find it very unacceptable that they continue to be the way they are. Well, if you have no other questions...
I raise my finger.
Yes?
I have one.
Of course.
It's a
Anything.
bit of a long shot. But
Okay.
do you happen to know anything about something called, Tilda, you might have to help me. The Raven Queen's Call?
Choice, darling.
Choice. Raven Queen's Choice.
She strokes her chin. That sounds very familiar. I'm trying to remember. It's looking back like, as if she's trying to reach back for a memory.
Apparently it's some kind of relic. If that helps at all.
I've heard of it. The name in passing. I know very little of the relics themselves. I only have knowledge of a very select few. The Raven Queen's Choice is not one of them.
Do you know anybody who might? That's here?
That's
What are the others?
the others. Agatha's gonna give a glance to Eagle Eye, and Eagle Eye is going to say, if you wish to have this conversation, I would rather have this conversation in a more private setting.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to kill us, right?
No. What?
I'm gonna roll an insight check. I just want to throw her off. Also gives me a... God damn it! Oh my god, how? I roll so low every time for
A
my
16
insight.
is still pretty good.
I rolled a 6.
I understand, but it's still pretty good.
It is still pretty good, but it's so frustrating.
Eagle Eye was more. It's more like Eagle Eye was more expecting more of a question about the Underdark and not the relics at this time. She's like, she was kind of in the okay, Underdark, do this, relics, what? So it's more like that, and she's not gonna. She doesn't seem like she has any hostile feelings towards you.
Okay.
But she
Sure.
says, "I can meet with."
Quickly, I want to share this with you guys. Oh, she stopped. Never mind.
No.
Oh no, what was she doing?
She's just snoring. Oh, here we go.
Why did she mute if...
I know, you're muted, Lynn.
Oh. I thought I did this sound so I wouldn't wake her up. Oh, don't kick me when you wake up. Yeah, I know. You were trying to roll over to get your belly rubbed. She's just going.
Baby. A baby.
She is a baby.
Okay,
Baby.
so we.
A good pupper.
We're going to be fighting giants then. That is where you're wanting to deploy us.
Giants and Driders. Giants and, yes, you will be fighting a ninja with mechanical beasts now. So Driders and stone giants in particular. Yes. There is the chance, and I find this unlikely, but as my predecessor has told me, expect the unexpected, a common saying. There have been reports of beholders in the area.
Lovely.
There might be some altercations with them. So, be very careful if you run into them. Especially if you are a magic user.
Can you say that again?
Be careful of the beholders, especially if you're a magic user.
Yeah. Well, if we can talk about the relics,
Yes.
I would be interested in
Of
doing
course. Give me about an hour. I need to speak with Agatha about a few things, and then I will come. I'll come find you.
that. All right.
All right. Thank
I
you.
would like to. Can I roll some sort of check to see if there's any sort of preparation that would be useful for me to do if we're fighting giants or riders?
Giants you can probably do. Driders, I mean, it would be based off the information that Zaitari and Tilda have told you about what they found in their guidebooks.
So they've probably. Do I know that webbing tends to be fairly flammable?
Yes, that's kind of common knowledge, especially with the spell web.
Okay. I would like to make sure that I have some torches handy on myself.
Mm-hmm.
Box, and then I would also like to find somebody and see if there's anything that would be useful for me to prepare for giants. Like if I could talk to, I don't know, Bittersweet or anyone.
Bittersweet might know, and Eagle Eye Erica did mention there are rangers who are part of the commune who are experts at fighting giants or larger creatures in general.
I'll go talk to one of them and just see if there's anything that they recommend for me to prepare.
Okay. They they would first of all they fucking recommend not getting hit, if possible. But seeing that you are a more of a melee fighter, that might be a little well, a melee fighter who is clad in very heavy armor.
Yeah.
That might be a little difficult. Usually, a lot of their advice is if you have anybody with magic, if there's any way to reduce their strength or constitution, that would be a good way to do it. Also, let me...
Where's the part where it's like, don't get fucking hit by a rock?
Don't get hit by a rock.
Because those hurt.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
A
with...
little.
Yeah.
When they attack with the boulders, do those tend to be AoEs?
No, they tend to usually target a single creature.
Okay.
They're also a little more dexterous than your average, like, frost giant or hill giant. So if you attempt to throw a rock back at them, sometimes they're able to catch it.
Okay.
Also be very careful because they camouflage very well in the stone. And since you're going to a place where the majority of the terrain is stone, they might be a little difficult to see. So
Correct.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Would any of them know about the weird freaking time thing that certain stone giants can do?
Let me see. That's more of a specialist. It's more of a specialist. Let me see. There's one or two very experienced rangers. These particular have encountered stone giants that will let you know about that.
What is this weird time thing that they can do?
Some stone giants have the racial ability to cast time stop.
Oh, what?
But those are very rare.
Holy shit. That's crazy.
Those are extremely rare.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's really bad, but very rare. There's only... Those two rangers are the only ones that have witnessed it, but they haven't fought a giant.
Stone giants wrecked my party in Storm King's Thunder. Remember KK?
KK.
She's gone.
She's dead.
What?
She's gone.
Sorry.
She got hit by a rock.
Hey, remember
Yeah.
when the stone giants cast time stop in Storm King?
Yep.
It was bad.
Yes, it was. The stone giants in general are bad.
Yeah, that was not fun.
Yeah. But yeah, those are very rare. Most likely, the ones you'll probably be encountering are going to be your run-of-the-mill, can't cast time stop stone giants. Usually.
Yeah.
But yes.
And I did a very sweet mud bath. And I got dunked in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
But
Didn't
yes.
you get turned to stone?
Yeah, technically.
Yeah.
Technically.
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 Okay. Yes, those are the things that you were told.
All right. Wonderful.
Alright. Anybody doing anything for an hour before Eagle-Eye meets up with all y'all?
I'm probably just gonna talk with Tilda and Bittersweet, because we're the spellcasters of the group. So, I don't know about you two. I don't have anything that can cast light. And
I mean,
if
I
we're going-
have the cantrip light.
I have dancing lights, but it's concentration, and it's not necessarily going to affect the drow with their dark vision. I mean, it'll make them unhappy, but it's not like something like daylight.
I can bring the sun with us if you want.
That would be ideal. Because also, I'm thinking, since we're going to be in the darkness for quite a while, having sunlight that we can just magically make appear will keep spirits up as well when we aren't fighting shit.
I can make sure that I prepare it. I was also thinking of preparing something to perhaps hide our progress. We don't know how long we're going to be down there.
Okay, what would that be?
I can try to make the terrain look different than it actually is. Disguise ourselves in a natural rock formation, maybe.
Oh, it's
Hallucinatory terrain.
Yeah, I was going to say, since it's on the bard spell list. Do you mean hallucinatory terrain?
If that's what you want to call it, sure.
Yes. I've been considering taking it myself, but there are other things that seem more interesting. But can Bittersweet cast up to what level of spell?
Fourth.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. Hallucinatory terrain, I think, would probably be a very good idea, especially for trying to get shit to not pay attention to us.
Yeah, I figured it would be a good idea to have not like something that can, because we have the hut, we have Tilda's hut, but giving us like an extra oomph that lasts for 24 hours.
Yeah.
So like hide like in CR, like hide behind like a makeshift rock wall or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna pack Pass Without Trace.
Ooh, yes. What about Erupting Earth?
I mean, I'm thinking of packing Sleet Storm.
Okay. Yeah, Sleet Storm's always good.
Yeah, because Sleet Storm does difficult terrain as well.
Okay, so if you're gonna pack Sleet Storm, then I will not prepare Sleet Storm.
Okay.
Well,
I can do either Sleet Storm or I can do Plant Growth.
I would say Sleet Storm, just because it could be iffy.
Yeah, I'm fine with either. I just I try, when I know you guys have a spell, to me that says I can bring a different kind of spell.
Yeah.
Or we can double cast it.
Yeah, and that's
and
fine.
Bring Christmas to the Underdark.
Always winter, never Christmas. We are the White Witches, bitches.
Yeah, so I was thinking Sleet Storm, and then I also have Ice Storm.
Okay.
Ooh. What does that do?
I think you should.
It's Sleet Storm with damage.
Oh.
Yeah. Doesn't Sleet
that
Storm do
seems-
a little bit of damage?
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
No.
okay.
It's heavily obscured. All open flames are doused, and the ground becomes icy. So any creature entering the spell's area for the first time or starting its turn there has to make a dex save, or it falls prone.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
And spellcasters have to make concentration checks for every turn they're in there.
I might
That's
also recommend. I mean, I have Dispel Magic, but I think it'd be nice to have somebody with a backup. Just because
I always pack
darkness.
Counterspell.
Yes.
So that's the best thing I got.
Yeah.
I can either have lesser restoration or dispel magic. Your choice.
I only mention it because Drow can just make darkness. So, but it's fine. I have it, so I'll use it. So I'd rather have lesser restoration, just in case. Especially if, like, we get weird mind control shit happening.
Well,
So,
it might be like some paralytic poisons and stuff that we might need to dispel some crazy poison effects. So
Yeah.
the restoration could be really useful for that.
we do have a couple elixirs of health as well. So,
But I mean,
But lesser restoration is really
Lesser.
clutch.
yeah.
yeah, it's what, second level, so that's not too bad.
Yeah.
It's second level, so I would have to unprepare one of my 4th level spells in order to prepare Dispel Magic, which I can.
Yeah, no, it's not that big of a deal.
I've got Ice Storm, Hallucinatory Terrain, and Blight.
Dispel. Honestly, it sounds like, I mean, assuming that we don't have magical giants, we're probably just gonna have some spell stuff. We're probably not gonna have a ton of it. So.
Do you prep fairy fire?
Not generally, no, because it's concentration.
Okay, that makes
And
sense.
I'm too often I'm built to be upfront.
Yeah.
I do have Warcaster, but like it's mostly so that spells as a reaction.
Okay. If you have any first level spells that you're kind of like, I think fairy fire would be a good swap in, just to have.
I can do Fairy Fire instead of Entangle.
Yeah.
Or Fairy Fire instead of Goodberry.
No, keep good.
No, we're gonna need Goodberry.
Okay, I can do Fairy Fire instead of Entangle.
Well, it's up to you. It's your choice.
Yeah.
Well, I prefer plant growth over Entangle anyways, but
Okay.
if we're not going in an area where, like, there might be some crazy mushroom areas, but then it might also just be
Nothing.
barren stone. Yeah.
Yeah. Not unless you can, like, not unless, I mean, you probably would have had to do this at the Hunter Conclave. Just start gathering pouches of seeds. And it's like an action you
potted plant.
You just throw all the seeds and they go whoo.
I mean, that's not a bad idea.
I think they have to be existing growing plants.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Also, good news, everybody. Supernatural is going to be ending after 15 seasons.
Are you finally?
Yeah, I heard
The
about
evil
that.
is defeated.
Oh,
That's what they say.
finally.
I don't know.
I mean, they have been saying that for a while, but
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know. They've been doing it for a long time. I feel like
15
Jared
seasons is
Padalecki
too many
and
seasons.
I can't remember the other guy's name now.
Ackles.
Jensen Ackles are just like, I need to take a
Release
break.
them. Release them from this torment.
Okay, so going back to spells,
Mm-hmm.
I remember you guys telling me which spells you wanted me to prepare as a cleric going, but I can't remember which ones they were. I remember
think
we had the conversation.
we
I usually
did.
carry Bless, Guiding Bolt, and Sanctuary.
Yes.
So many cactuses. So many cacti.
I think
I
we
don't
said
And I always have Command and Identify. But I have any of the first level spells of a cleric available. So
I think maybe we said definitely Bless and Sanctuary, but maybe Protection from Good and Evil instead of Guiding Bolt. I can't remember.
yeah.
I still think that's probably fine. So
I think protection from good and evil would be very useful in case we like any crazy possession stuff going on.
Mm.
And I think I remember you saying that your DC for your cleric spells is fairly low. So Sanctuary could be useful, but it also might get just overridden the whole time.
Yeah. Should I do Purify Food and Drink, just in case?
That could be pretty useful, actually.
Eh,
I'm really sorry.
It's
Buzz.
fine.
I got an email.
It's
Oh, God.
Like, it's a real toss-up between protection and purify for me.
yeah,
Just
same.
like, just because if one of us gets mind whammied, Buggin, especially if Raine gets mind whammied, we're going to die.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, guys, I cast protection and good on her. It didn't work. Of course it did.
I think
All
protection
right.
from good and evil, personally.
Okay, protection from evil and good. I'm going... okay.
Between the
So-
jug and the good berries and the rations that we have, and also the amount of research that we've done, I think we'll be fine for food and water. So...
Okay.
There's a good chance that Bittersweet is just gonna go turn into like a local thing and just go and eat whatever it is.
Should I prepare Detect Evil and Good?
What does that do?
It's like paladin sense.
Okay.
But you can detect the presence of fey, undead, aberration, celestial, elemental, fiend.
That could be really
What
useful.
the hell are you laughing at? Lynn?
I'm sorry. I thought I was. Sorry, guys.
What's the dog doing now?
She's snoring and she's dreaming and her foot keeps going womp 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 on my butt. She's just like womp 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 womp. Womp 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 womp. Womp 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 womp. Oh, I'm sorry. I woke.
This must be what it's like to have a baby.
Oh.
Absolutely not. It'd be so much worse.
Okay. Sorry about that. Like I said, I thought I was muted after I started getting.
It's adorable. You're adorable.
It's okay. Do not worry
Anyway.
about
It's puppy magic.
it.
It's fine.
I might say, so, here's my personal preference. Bless, protection from good and evil, detect evil and good. That's me.
Anyone else want to weigh in?
Guiding bolt can be handy if you want to grab it, just for the advantage it gives. But we've got other stuff that can give advantage as well, so it's not a deal breaker that we have to have it.
I refuse to weigh in on this because I am real biased against Guiding Bolt because I've never managed to get one to hit.
Oh.
And it's not going to be a good hit for you because it's going to be using your wisdom.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, your
That
plus.
is true.
I mean, I would love to have advantage on more things, but I think Mallory's probably right. I
mean, I usually am, so.
I mean, there's always inflict wounds.
Yeah, I'm not doing inflict wounds. If I'm getting that close to a thing, it's getting hit by judgment. It is getting judged, damn it.
I got a critical hit once on inflict wounds, and just outright killed a boss.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was like a first, second level one shot, and I just melted their face off. It was incredible.
Nice.
Now, I can't prepare any
fun
spells. This is just what I'm packing.
This is just what you get.
This is just what I have. Cantrips.
Just gotta deal with what we're packing.
I have a lot of cantrips. Dancing Lights, Minor Illusion, Prestidigitation, Mending, Eldritch Blast, Friends, Thaumaturgy. for Eldritch Blast. Okay, first level spells. I have Cure Wounds, Charm Person, Hex, Shield. And then Old Magic, Disarm, Storm Skin, Glacial Crash, whatever.
Is shield only on yourself?
Shield is only on myself.
Okay.
Because it's a reaction.
Yeah.
So, as nice as it would be, unfortunately.
I could do Shield of Faith on one of you, but it is a concentration.
I'd rather have the protection from
Okay.
evil and good. Or good and evil, whatever that is. Because, again, the mind whammy thing. It really helps. Second level, I got Invisibility, Enhanceability, Darkness, Hellish Rebuke. Third level, I have Major Image, Dispel Magic, Catnap, that's new, and Haste. Fourth level, I have Dimension Door, Greater Invisibility, Polymorph, Charm Monster, and my fifth level spells are Animate Objects and Steel Wind Strike, which are both
Jesus.
Bullshit.
So I have a question. If I normally have 3 attacks, if I were to be hasted, how many attacks would I get?
4.
Okay. All right. Just double checking.
But it doubles your movement and you get +1 to your AC?
2.
I think it's +2.
2.
What does Catnap do?
So what I can cast Catnap at 3rd level, and it would allow me to, because we keep running into this issue where we want to take short rests, but we don't have the time. It's a short rest, but in 10 minutes. And I can do it on 3 creatures other than myself.
Yeah.
Hey, that's cool. Because I get like a lot of my stuff back on a short rest.
Yeah, and I can upcast it as well to affect additional creatures.
What's upcast?
So,
I'm
4th
kidding.
level.
No,
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know, Cast. What's up with you?
What's up with you? Ha ha ha. Nice.
I mean, you can all go to the spells we're all packing.
Yeah.
Thingy.
The listy.
To see
Madig.
what I got. I haven't added the scrolls yet onto it. I should though.
Which scrolls did you learn? Did you learn seeming by any chance?
I did not. Yeah, I got teleportation circle and legend lore. Seeming is I still have the scroll. If we manage to stop, somewhere, or we rest before we go into the Underdark, or before we start marching towards the place, I might be able to get it into my spell book.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll
Depending
see.
on how long we rest and how much time we have.
Well, we're sleeping tonight, and then
Are we? Because I'm very confused about.
Well, I think there's 2 options. We can either leave now and rest there, or we can rest here and leave in the morning. So, is that correct, Darren?
Yeah. You can either go with the group that's going in a little bit or in the morning.
I say we go in the morning.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I would prefer that. That way I can try to get seeming into my spell book. But I've also got, all kinds of different spells.
Mm-hmm.
And it's...
I think seeming will be useful for when we do Underdark Part 2, where we go to the Middle Dark.
Yeah.
And do the relic shit, so...
Mid-dark.
Underdark 2.
Electric
Boogaloo.
Mid-dark.
Mid-dark Baloo, yes.
Right.
Electric mid-dark Baloo.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, okay, let's stop.
All right. So so an hour passes and you guys are discussing strategies and whatnot, talking to people about what stone giants may be capable of, and
Right.
and
Those assholes.
Yeah, those assholes. Eagle Eye comes with Margot, finds you about an hour later. And she takes a seat at the table. I assume there's a table in here that you guys were conversing at.
Sure.
And
Sure,
she
why not?
asks you, well, she says, so, before I answer any questions you might have about the relics and the relics I know of, what do you intend to do with this information? Are you going to go after the relics? Are you going, and if you're going after them, do you have a purpose? Like, are you using them for some kind of purpose? Are you on a quest of some sort and you need to use them? What is your intention?
Quest, yes. It is really Raven Queen choice specific, but I mean, just in general, knowledge of these things I think might be helpful because they just keep popping up around us, as things are wont to do. As I look around between everybody, it's like, correct, like just things keep happening around us, and then more things keep appearing of the same thing, right? I'm not hallucinating.
No, it happens a little bit.
Could be a collective hallucination. I haven't ruled it out.
True. Well,
Is
I'm hunting somebody who managed to acquire the Raven Queen's choice, which is why we're really here. The helping out bit is so we can get that big guy, and I point in whatever general direction he's in, where Minsk is in.
yeah.
To be our guide to get to the Middle Dark.
While you have been having your conversation and walking through the compound and getting some information about stone giants, Minsk has been giving rallying speeches, well, in his Minsk way, to some of the less experienced rangers. Rousing speeches is one way of putting it. The other way is possibly dying to soul-crushing evilness is another way of putting it. When he explains the dangers the dangers they will put on the butt-kicking list. Yeah.
Who are we talking to again, by the way?
You're talking to Eagle Eye right now.
Eagle Eye.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
but-
So she already knows that.
Well,
the
what about
reason-
Agatha?
Agatha is back in the tent.
I thought we were talking about Agatha.
No. You're talking to Eagle Eye because when you mentioned relics, Agatha looked specifically at Eagle Eye.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Can I do an insight check to see why Eagle Eye is so interested in what we're
Sure.
doing, why we're collecting relics?
Yeah. I mean, you get this sense it's why would anybody, like, there's a reason why anybody would try to search for powerful magical items. She's trying to gather whether your intentions are for good, whether they're extremely selfish, or she's just trying to get a notion of that right now.
I mean, yeah. I did explain
Yes.
that we were going into the Underdark to
Well,
hunt
look.
this crazy lady, but I mean, listen, if you know anything that could be helpful, especially in killing this lady who now has a relic that we don't know what she's doing with it, it'd be super great.
Well, usually, it's easier to take down somebody with a relic if you have one already, and she motions to Melanie's sword. And she pauses. You said they keep on popping up, so I assume you've encountered more than that one, then. I mean, the Raven Queen's choice, it doesn't sound like you've encountered directly as of yet, but what others besides Cord's Thunder have you encountered?
I just look at everybody. Do we tell her? I don't know. Do you think we should tell her?
I thought we were just talking about the one that she's literally wearing.
No. It's Vecna's phylactery.
Oh yeah. Melanie will say, through the apple that she started eating, going like that. Oh yeah, I killed a dragon and I pulled a vial out of it that contained like a soul and some shit.
It's Vecna's phylactery, yes.
Yeah, I'm aware of that one.
It's at the Temple of Ayun in Nortec.
All right, they'll keep it.
Keeping.
They'll keep it safe.
There's you.
Yes, there is me.
And there's this.
And yeah, there's this. So I think if you already know like the basis of the relics, like what they are.
Not really, no.
I mean, they're god related, I would assume.
Yes, obviously, but...
Okay. Well...
I'm sure she's just, like, face in hand, like, oh my god.
Well, it sounds like your intentions aren't to gather these relics and try to conquer a country.
No.
That's...
We just saved a country.
We're heroes of Leona.
That's good.
We don't need to
I'm just making sure there's some people in the past that have sought these items of power to do that certain thing.
I'm sure I'm not evil. I don't know about anybody else.
Tilda glances at Raine, but doesn't say anything.
So the relics are magical items that were created by the gods themselves. They actually have a link with the god that creates them. A almost direct link if the person who is wielding the item is worthy of wielding the item for that length of time. Your friend there, of course, you have what's known as Quartz Thunder. Vecna's phylactery is another one. The one I have is known as Avandra's Triumphant, or it's otherwise known as Blessing of the Lucky. I know of several others. The Raven Queen's Choice I have not encountered, though I know the name in passing. There is the Book of Ayun, or what is otherwise known as the Tome of Expansive Knowledge, which currently is, I believe, with the Church of Ayun itself. There is Bahamut's Fang, who is the wielder, is currently one of the leaders of the Platinum Covenant. And there is Melora's Talon. Unfortunately, the wielder of that particular relic passed away some time ago. It is currently somewhere for safekeeping. Typically, how these relics are gathered is if there is a wielder, typically if the person who's asking is found or is worthy, or the wielder thinks they're worthy, the relic wielder, if they choose, could give them a challenge, and if they complete said challenge, they would be gifted the relic. That's what happened with your friend Melanie. It seems Malbert thought she would be a worthy opponent, probably offered her the chance in getting the relic through a challenge, knowing Malbert it's probably one-on-one combat.
Indeed.
Accurate.
And that's how you got yours. It depends on the wielder on what kind of challenge they want, or if they do decide to even open the challenge to them. Part of this also may depend on the god that it is attached to. I assume that Malbert got the okay from Cord to offer the challenge. there is also a deeper meaning to the relics as well. You had already mentioned that you came across texts about Crassus, who was once known as an Einfellow
Yes.
The Einfellow possessed some of the relics. I don't know the original Einfellow what they possessed, but from my understanding, the original Einfellow were responsible for locking a great evil away, and they did this using the relics. There's the potential there of that being used in that way. I have experience in this myself because, well, I'm an Einfellow as well. My friends and I, we locked away Turog some time ago. And we did that using the relics.
How long ago was that? This is a DM question.
This is a DM question? Oh, yeah.
Like, would Zaitari know how long ago that was?
This was probably before... I'm trying to think. This was probably before you were born.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't that long ago.
No, it wasn't that long ago.
Okay. It's nice, I guess.
My friends and I had discovered a plot where Turog had devised a way of getting out of the Underdark, and he had planned on murdering one of the elven gods. So we went down there, nods towards the ground, and we took care of him. So, and we had to use the relics and our connections to our god to do that.
Is there one for Corellin?
There's probably one for Corellin. I don't know too much about his. In the past, I've heard it's been a bow, it's been a sword. Like I said, it turns into whatever the wielder needs it to be.
What about Arathis?
Arathis has one. I believe it's located in Algor right now.
Of course it is. Bloody wall.
Oh, Algor.
But yes, my friends and I each had one at the time, and we were known as Einfellow, so god hunters, if you may. We didn't kill Turog, we just simply locked him away.
Okay.
It's okay, eat the treat.
Sorry.
Is there anybody here who would know anything about the Raven Queen's choice?
Your best bet's probably the Shatterkai in the Shadow Tower. If that's where your friend, she puts in quote, friend, is headed, there's a reason why.
Yeah. And is there a possibility that somebody could use a relic when they are not worthy?
They would have to be extremely powerful. The only instance I could think of at this time where I had heard a story of a long-forgotten primordial who was able to use one. So on the power of one of the gods, perhaps. Or near the power of one. It's
the Mad Titan Thanos? Put it in an Infinity Gauntlet.
So it's possible, but usually for us mortals, we would usually have to need their permission.
Okay. I had another question. I can't remember what it was now. I don't know.
So yes, those are the ones I know of. Well, I've been associated with it, so.
I don't have anything else.
All right. Is that Leia or Luke?
It's Leia. I'm currently plying her with food.
He's trying to get her to not be afraid of the dog.
Yeah.
It's one skeptical looking cat.
Mm.
Yeah. I got these ocean whitefish, grain-free, and egg recipe treats.
Mmm.
They smell real gross. I literally buy all she likes gross, horrible smelling things, so she always fish treats because she loses her shit for tuna and stuff.
The stinkier the thing, the more cats go nuts over it.
Yeah.
I've got her some stinky treats, and I've been trying to like get her to come to the landing at least, because Sabine is currently just asleep on the couch. I was like, "Come on, got this."
She's close enough that you could get a picture of her.
Yeah, she's not under the bed anymore.
Yeah.
So she's improving so fast. We're very proud of both of them.
For once, Luke's stupidity is Luke's special smart boyness.
Yeah,
is to his benefit.
Oh, hi, Lucas.
Right, special smart boy.
Yeah.
Somebody talking about me?
But yeah.
So,
Yes.
these the relics that you said that you used them to seal these things away that you were fighting.
Yes.
Do you have to have magical powers to do that, or can I be like, boom, lightning sword, activate?
In order to unlock that aspect of the relics, you need to have a very deep connection with the god that's linked to it.
For the honor of Grayskull.
For me, I had to. I was very skeptical about accepting the blessing of Avandra because I wasn't very religious when I first attained this one. But me and her have an understanding. So there has to be a deeper connection that is harbored over time.
I think Cord is probably the kind of god I could end up getting along with. Some of the more stuffy ones I don't know if they'd put up with me. So
I see. But yeah. And if you do need that power and your cause is righteous and just and all that hoo-ha that Pelor preaches, they will come it will be revealed to you. That's usually the way it works, I hear, with other people.
interesting.
Yes.
Well, hopefully, our cause will be worthy in killing this woman.
Hopefully, we need not seek the guidance of the gods in order to do what is right.
I mean,
People put too much
honestly,
faith in them.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that I would mostly do exactly what I normally do, but getting to hit things with thunder and lightning is real handy. So it's basically just an added bonus in my mind.
That's good.
I don't know, attracting the attention of the gods seems like you're going to attract attention of other things as well. Doesn't seem very wise.
I don't know. We've attracted the attention of a lot of things already.
Yes,
I'd rather they all ignore me.
It's kind of... Honestly, I kind of felt like that too, and she looks over at... Ego looks over to Raine. I mean, having a direct line to a god isn't all that's cracked up to be, and I kind of like my independence. It
Well,
helps.
Avadra is all about chain. Wouldn't she respect that?
Her mantra is luck favors the bold. And you see Eagle's eyes roll her eyes at that. Or her one eye. She has the eye patch. Keep on forgetting. It was very difficult. I'm not gonna lie. Me and Vondra, we were not on the same wavelength when we first started this journey. It's gotten better. It's kind of like talking to a strangled parent.
And a what parent?
Estranged.
There we are.
Yeah, sorry,
Yes.
an estranged parent. I'm sorry. Sometimes I want to strangle her. You see Eagle Eye like look up. Like seriously, sometimes. It's gotten quieter ever since we've locked her away, though. My purpose, she puts in quotes and just bleh, has been fulfilled, she says in a sarcastic way. Whoop-de-fucking do! But, yeah.
Bittersweet just looks thoroughly unimpressed by all the talk of gods anyways.
Bittersweet's very bitter right now.
No, they just don't put much stock in religion.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Just making a joke. Tilda is actually kind of fiddling. Tilda's kind of fiddling with her Arathis medallion.
Yeah.
Just kind of.
Since you've been asking most of the questions, Atari, why don't you roll an insight check?
Oh, sure, why not?
Insight.
Here it comes, natural 20 on insight.
Don't fail me now, bitch.
That's pretty
There we
good.
go. That's better.
Not
That's
quite,
better.
close.
Got an 18.
After you told Eagle Eye what your purpose is with the relics after she questioned you about it, she looks a little bit relieved.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
But you don't think it's because of your own quest. You think it's something else.
Is there something on your mind, Eagle Eye?
You see her eye twitching. Yeah. I honestly, when you started talking about the relics, I thought you were coming after mine.
Oh, did you?
I thought you were here to challenge me.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I don't know much about Avandra.
Yeah. I've had a few people try to do that. I sent them on a challenge, and they've spectacularly failed.
What sort of challenge would you be sending them on?
I would be sending them on a challenge. I'd sent them on the challenges that I don't know why he's laughing so much.
Cackle.
Because he's happy.
Well, he's listening. He's probably watching a YouTube video or something.
It's okay to let your husband be happy.
No, he must be miserable.
I forced them to step out of their comfort zone, so to speak. Like I said, her mantra is luck favors the bold. I challenged them to be bold, and so to speak.
Raine, you're very lucky.
Oh no.
And you can see, there's just this sly-ass smile on Zaytari's face as she just looks straight at Raine.
If you... We
I'm comfortable, I'm really not interested in dating men, that's about it.
we can talk more about this once you guys get back from the Underdark. It's totally fine.
No, I have a feeling that if I were to challenge somebody for a relic, well, we're gonna see about this Raven Queen's Choice thing, since apparently I got some Shatterkai blood running through these veins, and Corellin, for the most part.
Mm.
You people and your gods.
They come in handy every so often, bittersweet.
It can bring some comfort.
There are far older and far more powerful things in the world than gods.
Oh,
Ugh.
we've encountered some.
We know, darling.
Do you?
Yes,
I
darling, we
wonder.
do.
One day we're going to have a talk about the shit we've seen.
Apples, not peanut butters. Anyways, yeah, believe me, sometimes the gods, Eagle Eye says, don't make the best of choices. Another look up at the ceiling.
Let me just go ahead and shit all over Avandra right in front of her.
I mean, they may be powerful, but they're not all powerful.
They're not
So.
all knowing either.
True.
At that point, you guys see like there is a small piece of wood that falls on Eagle Eye's head, and she just pinches the bridge of her nose.
Well, that was petty.
Some of them were once like us, Eagle Eye says. Some of them were once like us.
I do not have any more questions,
Alright.
but I have the strange inclination to go do some meditating. So, if you'll excuse me.
Of course. You all know where to find me if you have any further questions about the Underdark, what I know of the relics, and things of that nature. And like Agatha says, please feel free to roam around the camp.
I have a spell I need to put into my book. So if you'll all excuse me.
Melanie,
Hilda.
dear.
What?
It's gonna be. No, I was talking to Melanie. Go ahead.
Oh. No, go ahead.
Melanie, dear, we're gonna be out in the dark for a while. Do you feel like we should get some meditation in before we head out?
Dear Lord.
Hey, it's gonna be close quarters. You don't want us.
I didn't want to meditate. The other things I'd be. Sorry.
Yeah.
At this point, Eagle Eye is going to be like, and you hear a voice from under the cable say, "Ugh, humans."
Under the table.
Oh, that's right, the cat. What's Eagle Eye's companion? I can't remember.
Margot, it's a
Margot,
mountain lion.
Mountain lion, that's it.
Margot the Mountain Lion. Sounds like a cartoon character.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hear like from under the table, it's like, ugh, humanoids. Just in perfect common.
This has to be an awakened cat. I would imagine, anyways. But Saitaru's gonna go meditate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tilda's gonna go.
Where's Melanie?
Bittersweet says, "You're telling me," and leaves.
Yeah, you guys already like bounced as soon as you guys were like that.
Fuck off into the wind.
Literally. Alright, so this is a good stop. So just plan. So the next session will probably take place in the morning when you guys are headed into the Underdark.
Yeah.
Do we next session we actually reach the Underdark?
Yes.
Finally. Okay.
Alright.
A lot of questions, a lot of meditation.
Yeah, so much meditation.
I'll use the 15 from my divination roll to put seeming into my spell book.
Alright, sounds good.
So, with my Arcana bonus, that's a 30.
Yeah, I didn't doubt
I think
that.
you got it, huh?
Yeah, I think it worked.
It's like what is it when the hex decimal system it rolls over so it's actually negative?
Oh, like Gandhi's reaction in
Yeah.
Div 3 or whatever it was.
All right,
Alright.
sounds good. You have
Cool.
you all have a very good night.